25. Oh Lord of His mercy. Oh Lord of His. Oh Lord of His.
This vlog is for all my brown and black homegirls out there who are still living in their home country, be it India, Sri Lanka, wherever in Africa, wherever you're from, and who are still subject to Eurocentric standards of beauty. I grew up in India, and the whole time I was growing up, being fair was beautiful, being light-skinned was beautiful. In India there's a huge culture of well, Fair and Lovely, which is a brand that you will find in any cosmetic shop. And even last year when I was in India shopping for lipstick, the attendant, sales attendant, kept asking me if I needed any skin cream, and I was like, yeah, like if you have anything, I'll have a look. And she just, all she showed me was like whitening creams, like that was all that was available, nothing that was actually that suited my skin, that was hydrating, regardless of the fact that I have really dry skin. She just kept showing me all of these creams that are all for whitening or skin lightening or white glow kind of things, and I'm so sick and tired of that, because it was such a huge struggle growing up in a city, and in a fairly small city, Indian standards, where I was most of the times the darkest person in my class. Like when I was in primary school and high school, I would look at the class photo that you would get every year, and I could literally tell you I was always one of the darkest kids in the class. And I think growing up I just accepted that I wouldn't be put into any roles for plays on stage and things like that, because a lot of times the teachers would just be like, well, you don't match the character of the play. And obviously I wouldn't match the character of the play, because in India we follow quite a British style curriculum. We read a lot of British plays and perform a lot of British plays, and obviously I wouldn't, you know, match the character, because I was dark-skinned, frizzy-haired girl. I couldn't be My Fair Lady from My Fair Lady, Eliza, whatever her name is, Eliza from My Fair Lady, right? Like, even though I was, you know, good at acting, good at singing, was really had a really strong persona on stage, I still was never really casted for any of those. And I mean, I think that really sets you up when you're youngin, and then when you become a teenager, you have this sense in your brain that you are not beautiful according to the beauty standards that exist. And thank you to my sister and my parents who loved me and, you know, always affirmed and you know, reiterated the fact that I was a beautiful person, that I was cool, and I was loved, and I was liked, and mostly thanks to my sister, I had amazing self-confidence and self-esteem. I did not let the whole being dark-skinned really change the way I looked at myself. But when I was a teenager, I'd already accepted the fact that young teenage boys did not want to date me because they were not looking for personality, they were not looking for my sense of humor, they weren't looking for the deep intellectual conversations I wanted to have. And I'm not saying everyone was like this, but this was my assumption, was that all the young teenage guys out in India were just looking for a fair-skinned girl with a long nose, or, you know, whatever the Eurocentric beauty standards that are quite promoted in India. I was just like, well, they're looking for that, so they will never find me attractive. And it was not till I was maybe how old was I? I think I was around 19 years old when I moved to the US, and a lot of people would come up to me and say, oh my god, I love your hair and you've got such beautiful skin, or they take pictures with me and be like, oh my god, you look so gorgeous, and, you know, I look so pale next to you, or you're so beautiful. And at that point I was so not used to getting compliments. I mean, safe to say, I did not know how to take a compliment. I was always just like, what? Like, what are you saying to me? What do you say to people who like compliment you? And I had to like learn how to take a compliment and actually say thank you. Like when people would actually say things that were complimentary to not just my personality but my looks, I had to be like, oh yeah, like thank you, like is that what you say? Because and I in the beginning, when people started complimenting me, I was actually skeptical. I thought that they were being sarcastic or they were being mean and they were making fun of me. And it took me a really long time to kind of just accept the fact that actually my looks and my hair and my skin color are all beautiful, and I am beautiful. And it took me a really long time for me to kind of accept that about myself and about my looks and my kind of outside, not just the inside, because I was always confident and I was always very sure that I was a good person on the inside, and I didn't feel that I didn't love myself, but I was always quite I guess conscious of my looks, my skin color, because of obviously the culture and the space and the city and the country I come from. And it was really weird because when I moved to Mexico in 2013, when I was in the museums and at like touristy spots, Teotihuacan and places like that, Mexicans would come up to me and they would want to take selfies with me, and I just found that was really weird. I think it was a bit rude once when someone asked me if they could take a selfie with me, and I was just like, why? Because I thought I literally then again thought that they were taking a picture with me to make fun of me, or to say, oh look, this is this like I don't know, dark skinned, I don't know, I just could not, I just don't know. And then I asked the person who wanted to take a selfie with me or a picture with me, why do you want to take a picture with me? And he was like, oh, because you're so gorgeous, like I want to take a picture with you. And it took me so long to get comfortable with the idea that I am beautiful and that I am gorgeous and that I'm actually a good looking person externally, that I could not accept that. I literally thought that the person wanted to take a picture of me so they could, like, I could be their token, I could be a specimen in the picture, and I just thought it was kind of weird. But it's definitely, I think looking back, if I had stayed in where I come from, Jamshedpur, in Jharkhand, or in India as a whole, I don't think I would have really owned who I am, or felt this confident in my external and internal I guess humanness and being, in my physical body. I don't think I would have really been able to be comfortable in my skin, because a lot of times, like even now when I meet, like I see my mom, and even now I see people in India, and I just see it. I see it everywhere, this pressure to be fair, because it just means that you have more money, this pressure to, you know, be light skinned, because it just means that you're wealthy or rich, you never had to work outside, you know. And it's just, it's just that I don't think I would have ever realized that I am a beautiful dark-skinned girl if I didn't leave India, if I didn't go live in the US or in Mexico or in Australia, if I didn't travel, not just living, if I didn't travel to other places, even in Southeast Asia or in Seychelles. Like right now I'm in Seychelles, and so many people stopped me and said, oh my god, you're so beautiful, like on the ferry or on an island, or when I was just being a tourist, a sightseeing, and it's just, and now I'm so much more gracious, and I'm just like, oh, like thank you, or you know, I just smile, and it's taken me a solid, I reckon, like almost 10 years to get comfortable with the idea that I'm actually dark-skinned, good-looking girl, that good-looking people can be dark-skinned and then dark-skinned people can be good-looking. Like I don't think I would have realized that, or would have accepted it, or I would have been that comfortable with it if I lived in India, because I think I would have been again and again and again, I would have been reminded by the local aunties, or by my parents, or by my parents' friends, or by the saleswomen, or by people selling clothes to me, who would say, oh, you can't wear that color, like that color doesn't suit dark-skinned girls, it doesn't look very good on dark-skinned girl, or that lipstick shade doesn't look very good on dark-skinned people. And I think the opposite started happening when I moved to the US, or in Australia now, where people would say, oh my god, yellow, it looks so amazing on dark-skinned people, you should wear yellow, or red, or the bright colors like really pop out on dark-skinned people, or wearing, you know, bright lipstick. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, you should wear that because it would look so stunning on you. And frankly speaking, that did not happen when I was growing up in India. Like, you know, so many times I'd heard, oh, you can't wear that color, that wouldn't look very good on you, or that lipstick is too bright on you. And and this video is for all those girls and women out there who are still living surrounded by that culture, surrounded by that mindset. I just want you to know that you are absolutely gorgeous. Whatever your skin color is, you are absolutely stunning, and you should wear whatever color you want, whatever shade of lipstick you want, and you should be proud of your skin color and proud of your hair, and be confident in it, and love yourself for it. Because it took me a really long time to accept it and to realize it, and because I feel like I've understood this over like 10 years. I want you to know, even if you don't have the opportunity to leave your country and travel and study somewhere else like I did, I still want you to know, don't let the other people in your community or in your surrounding, don't let them undermine your self-esteem and your self-love based on your skin color. Because your skin color is important, but what's important is that you know that you're a beautiful person, physically and spiritually and internally and everything. That's what's important, because once you know that, nothing nobody can say will undermine what you think of yourself. Once you just know and believe that you're absolutely stunning, which you are, then nobody can ever tell you the other way. And that's why I wanted to make this video, to let you know that I know I post all these pictures on Instagram where I'm just like, oh my god, I love myself and all of that jazz, but it's taken me a long time to get here. But what I'm trying to say is that in my process of loving myself, I knew that I was a beautiful person, but going outside of home and meeting lots of different people and knowing that there are different beauty standards all over the world, and the same thing that people are telling us in our countries about us and what we should look like, it's like the opposite. In America, everyone wants to be tanned and everyone wants to be like darker skin, and a lot of people want like curly hair and all of that stuff. A lot of people want voluminous hair that we have, and we need to appreciate more of what we got, people. We need to appreciate ourselves, and we need to encourage everyone else to love themselves and we need to love other people for who they are, instead of telling them that they need to buy this or look fair or whatever it is. I just wanted to tell you my story of how when I was young, I totally did not think I was good looking physically, but growing up and living in different countries and traveling around different countries and having other people compliment me has really made me realize that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. And don't worry if you're not appreciated and if no one thinks you're good looking where you're from. Trust me, there's somewhere else in the world where people are going to think you're absolutely stunning, no matter what you look like, no matter if you're really skinny or, you know, chubby or fat, or you've got really crazy kinky frizzy hair, or you've got super straight hair, or you're super dark, or you're like Winnie Harlow with a bunch of white patches all over you. Oh my god, she's stunning. No matter what you look like, trust me, there is some place in the world, and there is someone in the world, and there are lots of people in the world who will think you're absolutely gorgeous. And it only takes stepping out of your circle, stepping out of that immediate kind of group of people who have that mindset, or watching a video like this, and we have so much access to YouTube and the internet and the world, that you know that you're hot and you're good looking and you're just killing it, and that's it. Don't let your physical looks bring you down, because I mean, I know it adds to who we are, and it adds to our personality. It definitely did make me feel more confident when I was a teenager or a young adult, when people were complimenting me on my looks. But as I grow older, I realized that regardless of the fact that I get compliments or not, I know I'm a beautiful person. I know I have so much to give, and I have so much love in my soul for the world, and I have so much appreciation for the people out there, and for my friends, and for my family, and a lot of you out there, that there's just that the physical beauty doesn't matter, that it's more about who I am on the inside, and it's more about me loving myself radically, because that is an absolutely hard thing to do. It's simple, but it's hard. It's a simple thing to say, and it's a simple thing, but it's a really hard thing to do. And I think that's what I'm learning. I'm learning that, yes, when I was young, I was insecure about my looks. I still love myself, but then I grew up and moved to another country and got lots of compliments, and then I was like, ooh, I'm hot, and I got all like confident. And now that I'm in my late 20s, I'm like, oh my god, I'm confident in who I am, and I've gone back to kind of the basics of my looks are important and they make me feel confident, but what really makes you love yourself and makes you feel confident is internal, not external. It's not what everyone else thinks of you. It's more about what you think of yourself and how you see yourself. And I think that's what I've learned over time. So remember that. That's what I made this video for. Thank you for watching. I know I kind of go around in circles every once in a while, but if you have any questions about my life or anything else, let me know. Comment where you're from, where you're watching this video from, and what is kind of the odd beauty standard that everyone has to comply to, where you're from, or you know, in your city or in your country. I mean, it could be just generic Eurocentric beauty standards or whatever it is, but if you are already subscribed to my channel, I love you. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, click this red subscribe button wherever it is, and I love you too, actually. So subscribe to my channel, and I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Love you.